Madden Football brings you the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Dolphins and the Colts, and it's all up next.
These folks in the Circle City, they love their Colts, and they have packed the house tonight as we welcome you to Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. Coming up, Divisional round Saturday, we've got an AFC battle on tap, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they've gone a full half season since their last loss. Winners of for a berth in the AFC Championship game. Off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by an exciting athlete, 4th overall pick of the draft out of Florida, Anthony Richardson.
He got the win last week, and we all know how infrequently rookie quarterbacks win in the playoffs. So by now, it feels like old hat to him. Well, maybe not old hat, but you've got to believe he'll be looser, calmer going into this one. He already knows what it takes to lead a team to victory in the playoffs.
Sacked by Andrew Van Ginkel. How about the defense there trying to set the tone on the very first play of the game?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glow here tonight because they brought the heat right out of the gate. What a good job establishing a tone for this one.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. We'll see what they have drawn up here, a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one good for 24 yards. So, Charles, you look at this offense, you think about it, you got a rookie quarterback at the helm. You're in the divisional round of the playoffs here. That head of his just has to be spinning, doesn't it?
Well, normally you'd have to say yes, but I do think that the way things went last week, how he played in the wild card win, how sensational he was, that'll stop his head from spinning. And now he's in.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Christian Wilkins, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the players
under pressure, they got him again. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure. And it's a loss of 6. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. It's taken to the 26. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
And he more than did his part in the wild card win with 3 touchdown passes. Now, he's going to get a bigger test here in round 2, but his unit is in rhythm, and they're playing as well as they have all year long. I wouldn't be surprised if this defense, though, tried to get after him early with a little extra pressure. If he can handle that, he can have another big game, though.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. Here's Smith to return it. Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 18-yard line.
Richardson to throw off play action. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack. So here's a 3rd and 14. Now it's Richardson. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Miami set to take over. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
Not much happening offensively here early on. That's 2 drives and 0 first downs. This defense, they've come to play, and they're the better of the 2 units here so far.
That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Richardson. That's caught by his tight end, Kylan Granson. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Richardson looking to throw this. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And this is going to be a Colts first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run once more with Taylor. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. And now a stoppage, and looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. On third down, here's Richardson. Dancing to his left. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
To punt on fourth down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And they will take over 1st and 10. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. 2nd and 10. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. The Dolphins on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Tua. That is caught. He'll have the first down and more than that. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Braxton Berrios, 67 yards. And the Dolphins are on the board first here in this division round matchup. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15. And now a stoppage. It looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. A tough spot here, 3rd and 15. There, Richardson back to throw it. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. And now after that sack, we'll pause here a moment because someone was shaken up on that play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And here comes Berrios. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Miami's offense set and ready to go. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence they're going to put more points up on the board.
On 2nd down, Tua. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Now Achane on 1st and 10. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. This 2nd and 4. Now Tua. And he'll complete this one to Berrios. He is putting on a show in this 2nd quarter, racking up the receiving yards as he has a 1st down. Play action. Now it's Tua. And it's caught. The tight end Hill. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Now Tua on the bootleg here. Finding Waddle crossing the field and bringing it in. And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Tua to throw again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Alec Ingold. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 14-0. Returning it, Isaiah McKenzie. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And you work so hard during the regular season to earn that bye to go to the divisional round fresh. Well, maybe they're too fresh because they've come out here pretty flat.
And how many times have we seen it? And let's go to other sports now. Let's go to basketball.
There he goes, left side. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A good pickup there, 22.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. From the gun, Minshew to throw. That's caught. It's Josh Downs. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Here's 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Taylor. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Here's Minshew. Throw left side complete. That's McKenzie. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A nice stick and stop for a loss there from Jalen Phillips.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Looking to throw it, Minshew. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Juwan Winfrey, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Colts have cut it back within a score. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make our score 14-7. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. The Dolphins on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Well, the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. That was Eric Johnson in there to drop him for a sack. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Minshew sets to throw. And that's going to be taken in by Ashton Doolin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now Minshew on 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Right side complete. That's Woods. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Now Minshew. Looking for Woods again, and he finds him. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 38-yard line. It'll be Minshew again. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And they are into field goal range now as he's got the first down at the 26. Out of the gun is Minshew. This pass caught. It's Woods. And they work this near the 5. Will be stopped at the 6. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone. Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. And a completion to Wilson. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. Throw to the right, taken in by Berrios. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so.
There he goes, right side. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 4 seconds left, and there's the timeout. In field goal range and a chance to tack on 3 before intermission. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Sanders' kick is good, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So it's on to halftime of this AFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, this is the second of 4 games this weekend as we narrow the field down to the 4 teams who will meet in the league championship games next Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other Divisional Round games in the AFC. And it looks like a good one, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers doing battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, in our game, we've got 1 half remaining to find out who goes on to the AFC title game. And to bring it all to you, let's send it back out to Brandon Godden.
We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And they've been the better of the 2 teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium, but you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
2nd and 6. Tua going to throw. Got a man. It's Barrios complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Caught. It's Wilson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Back-to-back 2-yard losses, and that sets up a tough 3rd and 14. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And that'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Now a give to Taylor. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
On second down, here's the option. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Throwing on first down is Minshew. A short throw pulled in by Woods. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Will go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down. Back to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. Again, Minshew looking to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. Off the option, here's Taylor. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Touchdown, Colts! Jelani Woods from 19 yards away. And the Colts are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. To a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter. That has them an extra point away from tying things up.
And, partner, this is pretty much what they envisioned when they were sitting there in the locker room thinking about getting things going to start here in the third quarter. Getting out there, a field goal would have been fine. But going ahead and scoring here, an extra point away from tying things up, that's exactly how they drew it up on the board.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will level the playing field at 17-all. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Dolphins offense returning to the field. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. On play action, here's Tua. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Now Tua. And Wilson with it, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
A give, running right, Achane. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Looking to pass. Tua. Got a man here. It's Wilson. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 22-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. Setting to throw on 1st down is Tua. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Back to the ground, Achane. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. Braxton Berrios. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Dolphins have taken the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Sanders now to add the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like 2 excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he stopped immediately there. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. 2nd and 10 here as we sit in the 3rd quarter of this divisional round matchup. Here's Minshew. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field, and it took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Minshew sets to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That'll put him north of 100 yards receiving now in this divisional round game. And it's a 1st down. They'll go play action here with Minshew. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. They'll run here with Taylor. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And now a stoppage, and looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Minshew's going to keep it. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Gardner Minshew, a 4-yard touchdown scamper. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. And we are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So now here come the Dolphins. When you talk to these guys in training camp, these are the moments they say they live for. You're in a playoff game. It's tied 4th quarter. Time for somebody to step up.
And can you execute under pressure? Because the pressure is intense right now. No one wants to be responsible for making the error that costs their team. But at the same time, who's going to be responsible for making the play that gives the advantage to your team? Who's going to break out? Just what you said.
Tua's throw complete down to Berrios. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, it's Tua. This will be caught. It's Ronald. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Up the middle, Achane. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Third and 1, and Tua wants to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. Running left, Achane. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you to the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The Dolphins on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Samson Abuka coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. Sanders' kick is good. And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And this could be the defining moment of their season, all hyperbole aside. You're trailing here in the 4th quarter, the divisional round. And they need to come up with something as they get this drive started. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Richardson to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And this has been a tight game to this point. Of course, they usually are at this juncture of the playoffs. But with the lead in the football, the clock right now, their friend, as they try to book their spot in the conference championship next Sunday. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. In motion right is Wilson. Right back to Achane on 2nd down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And this certainly a key moment in this game, trailing by 3. 4th quarter with a spot in the championship game next weekend on the line. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
We talk about setting a tone or beginning a drive. That run was absolutely textbook. I'm telling you, partner, now they're not just thinking about an easy drive. They're thinking about maybe taking it downfield.
Yeah, started at their 2. Now they've got a heavy amount of breathing room. Boy, just a gigantic play here, both sides. This is 3rd and inches. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it.
Brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It's 4th down.
Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. That is caught. And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
Colts, 1st down. 1st and 10.
Here's Richardson. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Playoff lives at stake. Boy, this is a big one. 3rd down. Richardson. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to about the 19. And now a stoppage. It looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. 4th down, desperation time. Here's Richardson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down as they find a way to convert there on 4th and 6. Richardson to throw it. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now Richardson. Got his man, it's Woods. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Throwing now is Richardson. And that is incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
It's got to have it time. 4th and 9. Now Richardson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and as a result, their playoff run may end right here. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses that are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep. They'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
And they take a knee. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to swell the lead to 6. And his kick is right there. It's good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Well, on both sides, you come into this game with so much hope, so much build-up, looking to move on. One side gets to do that, but let's not forget the others. Tough pill to swallow.
It really is, because there's so much hard work, effort. You mentioned the hope to go on and maybe play in the big game itself. Well, let's see how they handle it, though. The offseason is going to be a long one for them because it's going to eat their heart out watching other people continue to play. But can they come back the next year and find it in them to make that same run again and maybe find a way to advance?
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.